Hello everybody, I am Nu-Trix and today I'm talking about mastering. Yes, I have been working on an EP and I would say that I mixed most of it in Auria Pro with some problems sometimes, but it's another video for that. So when my mix is done, I have something that I find is balanced enough, tells the story I want, brings the focus where I want. And I'm wearing my sub pack because it's part of how I work to focus when I actually listen to my mixes. I don't have a room that sounds right. My room is not made for critical listening. It's not accurately tuned to anything. It's a cube for... So it's really not the best place to do a mix. So it's when I mix, I use my sub pack and headphones, and that's basically because it helps me focus, especially on the kick and on the bass, because the sub pack is basically having a sub on your back. And I listen to my mixes, I play them in my car and play them in different places, and I find them lacking focus at one point. So I go back into the mixing mindset, try to mix, and I still find that the focus is not clear. So I start to tear stuff down, take out some stuff so we hear the instrument, or EQ around them so you hear each of them separately. And when I put the sub pack on right away, I hear that the bass is wrong because I have the bass or many basses playing at the same time, fighting with the drum. So the easiest way around this is basically to say, well, let's put in just the bass or just the kick. So everything under 100 hertz is cut for every track, and only the kick is going to the sub pack. And at some places where I want the sub to be bass lines because the kick is dropping out and I want the bass to take the space, I added bass over there. So it becomes just painting at the right place for those who have a sub in their room or a sub pack on the back or a sub in their car. You're going to hear these separately. The kick's going to be clear and then the rest going to play on top of that. So that's the first thing. Then I like my mix. I go, okay, my mix good. Now I need to master it. I need to bring it to the quality that I hear when I buy music. So I want it to be really clean and optimized and still focused. So I decided to try with the mix bus from IQ Multimedia, and I feel it's not the right tool for mastering. The mix bus is mostly aimed, in my view, to be a creative effect, to be used as you create, like to tune or to tone a guitar or to give life to a bass or a synth or a voice. So it's more, in my case, I view it as it's part of the creative process of creating music, but it's not sculpting the master of the song. So I wouldn't use it. I tried it and I felt that it was not aimed for that. So I turned around and looked at what else I have, and I have the suite from IQ Multimedia, the T-Rack suite, the TR5, and there's different mastering solution in there. So let's actually dive in and look at it. So the first one is this one here. It's, I don't know if I pronounced it right, but the Lurssen mastering console. If I listen just to that one, the song itself without effects is this thing. That's the type of sound I have out of it. If I turn the effect on, off, so what I have here, I have a choice of different options of settings. You know, if I go EDM or EDM more glue, you see that these are the values you have here, you know, and you can still move them. But I still find it not as precise as I want. I mean, the Lurssen mastering console for me is not that clear. I'm going to have to learn a little bit more about how it works, because for now, I feel that I'm just going through presets and I'm just playing with the effects here. I mean, the EQs, how much I want to drive it in and how much I want to push it. And you see these here, but you cannot go in and edit them outside of some makeup and threshold. So it's not exactly the plugin that I'm in for. I want something I have more control. Some people love this. And also I think that it goes with the style of music you're doing. It doesn't gel with the way I want to do it. This one is the suite of mastering. It's the TR5 suite, the T-Rack 5 suite. And I remember the T-Rack, the first generation I played with it. I mixed a couple of an album with the T-Racks. And it was pretty cool. And at the time, it was like nothing was coming close to this software-based. So now what we have here is basically you're going to load in different kits of different effects. You see that these effects are changing. The routing, there's a master EQ, there's a bus compressor, there's a quad image, then a de-esser. So depending on what you want to have, you select the one. Some of them are much more, I mean, all of them are a simulation of hardware, and some of them are much more, I would say, analog sounding, and others are more digital, clean and punchy. So it's just a question of which one you want to take, and there's a bunch of them. And then you can just browse through it until you find something that is close to what you want. And then you can just go in and tweak a little bit of what you like or not like. You know, if you want to change something, you can. So this is really what I like. It's because you can start by being in the ballpark of what you're looking for your mix and then tweak it, which is pretty cool. So let's just like take one and wait a second. Just try it. Let's say complex control if I play it. Turn it on. I turned it off. So of course there's volume, but there's EQ also in it. Okay, so now this is working. So I can just play around until I find it, but there's something even nicer in this. There's this thing here called Master Match. Now in this one, we're going to load sounds, we load tracks. So it needs to have original reference tracks that you want to analyze, and then you want to use that analysis and apply it to your source. So basically you need to take WAV files. So I looked into what I have and I said, well, that song is more into the style of Crystal Method. So I took a couple of songs of Crystal Method I have off CD. So I need the WAV file. And I took one from Prodigy and I put them here in my 3 slots that I have. So just basically quickly. And this one here. Okay, and this one here. So I ask it, I just take the file and just drop it in that window. And it's there, you know, that's it. So then what you say learn. And it actually analyzes these files and say, this is the curve that you want for these. And then you say, I want to learn the source now. I want to analyze my sound, my music, and try to figure out how it sounds. So you play back your song from the beginning. Wait a sec. Go back here. Play back the song and play learn source. Press play. And you wait. You let it go through the whole song. And it will give you a analysis of the spectral results, so the frequencies, presences, and phasing on all of them, and a level match or level value for all of the frequencies. And that's part of the signature of your song. I'm just gonna have to wait. Okay, so I have this analysis. And then what I do now, I'm going to take that same song and then I'm going to press on matching now. So now it's going to try to match the song with the analysis that it did from the original reference. So now if I go back to the beginning and I try that again, I can say how much level matching I want by playing with this. I've got a spectral matching that I want. And if you still don't like it, you say, well, that's too much. I click here and I can actually bring it down. So I can still edit a lot of it. So this is pretty cool. And I've got two modes, A and B. If I turn it off, turn it back on. Turn it off. Back on. Off. On. I'm gonna have to bounce this, put that on my iPhone, play it in my car. I mean, this is my ultimate test. If it sounds good in the car, it's good. You know, I've got a sub in the car. I've got a good sound system. I'm gonna have to play that, write down some mental notes about what's good and bad about the mix. Come back here, see if it does the job. If it's nice, I'm gonna use that a lot for this new EP, I think. Interesting. Interesting. That's it for today. Stay safe, make more music. See you soon. Cheers, guys.